How's it going, everybody? I am a Donut. This is, as always, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. We are reading Tetsujin 28-Go. Iron Man 28-Go. I think it was like Gigantor or something was its English localization name in the 80s or something. But either way, this is pretty much the first mecha series I will read as a manga. Let me give you my brief history on Mecha. Gurren Lagann, a little bit of Gundam. Like, I watched the first couple episodes of the original Gundam, like, 2 or 3 times, but I'm not an anime person. I couldn't get into it. It wasn't, like, the story was very good, but, like, I'm just not an anime person. It's very hard for me to get through an anime in general, period. This is the second oldest series we have read on the channel thus far. The earliest is Astro Boy. This came out in 1956. Astro Boy came out in like 1951, 1952, something like that. But where I'm currently at in Astro Boy, in my reactions, if you're seeing this video when it came out, then the current reactions of Astro Boy on the channel just finished up like 1955, and assumingly going into 1966, maybe finishing up 1966. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm around that point in Astro Boy, so it also felt like a good time to read this as well. I have obviously not read anything else by this guy. Again, very new to Mecha. I've always wanted to get into Mecha, but I'm a kind of person who, if I get into something, I have to get into it chronologically. I allow myself, like, one thing. I'm allowed to, like, I can watch, like, Gurren Lagann, I can watch one Mecha show, but if I really want to get into Mecha, I gotta get into it chronologically. That's just the kind of guy I am. So, what do I know about this? I know this is the origin of the Super Robo genre, in a way. This is the very first remote-controlled Super Robo. Obviously, in America, we have Iron Man. That's also why this had to be named Gigantor, because we already have Iron Man, so Iron Man 28, But, we had one in the 40s, we had Iron Man, which was not the Tony Stark Iron Man, just a completely different Iron Man. That was a guy who had a remote control robot, but that was a normal robot, normal-sized robot, but he had a remote control robot. I don't remember how many issues it lasted, a couple issues. But, like, so Marvel has done some, like, robot stuff in the 40s and 50s, and then in early 60s, like 1963, I think, is when Iron Man debuted. But yeah, and then, Iron Man is just a guy in a suit of armor, not really the same. But either way, so there's remote control robots, obviously, at this point, but this is the first remote controlled super robot. The first remote controlled giant robot, I guess I should say. But yeah, that's the distinction there. And then, of course, after we're reading Astro Boy, which is a robot, but not a giant robot. But yeah, I'm also so fascinated by the origin of so much stuff, Like, a lot of stuff feels like it has been around for forever, or would have just been, like, it's like, oh, who could have known what was the first one with that? But honestly, for most stuff, you can find out what the first for a lot of stuff is. That's always fascinating to me. Anyway, do I know anything else about this series, about this guy? Okay, right, so this is the guy who did, obviously, Tetsujin 28-Go, Sally the Witch, Babel 2, Ikuno Kagemaru, I don't think it sounds slightly familiar, actually, but I'm not sure. And then also Giant Robo. Okay, so yeah, those are the ones I know. Sally the Witch, Babel 2, Giant Robo, maybe that one, but doesn't come immediately to mind. But okay, so that's who this guy is. It's always so hard keeping track of all the different manga. There's so many manga that I gotta keep track of them all. When I haven't read any of their stuff, it's hard to keep track of them. But okay, so it's that guy, the originator of a lot of different, like, genres in general. Giant Robo, Magical Girl, I think Babel 2 is like, I don't remember what Babel, I know Babel 2 is an origin of a genre, but I don't remember what the hell it is. But either way, very influential. Right, he also, this is the origin of Shotokan, Our main character is named Shotaro, I believe, and, this is the origin of Shota. God bless this man. We read Go Nagai, which is the, really, like, introducing for the first time, really in a major way, fan service into manga, and, like, lolly ecchi, not really lolly, but just by sense of, like, the age group, but not as if, like, that's actually the, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just coincidence, not really like it was meant to be. I'm sure there is like an actual, the first I mean, obviously there's the book Lolita as well, but that's different from how Japan thinks of it as well. But either way, yeah, this is the origin of, like, Shota and stuff like that, coming from his name, Shotaro. I think that covers it. I think I know more about this than I know about most stuff, just 'cause it's so influential. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. So, these reactions are whatever they are. Just checking out this thing. Also, just a brief, thank you to Protozoa Lord, who scanlated the series, and the group, Afternoon Pulp, for scanlating the series. Always want to give big shouts out to the people who go back and are scanlating super old manga. You guys are doing God's work. So, thank you, Protozoa Lord, specifically. Thank you, Afternoon Pulp, the scanlation group. Thank you for these scans. So we're starting with the closing days of World War II, which, of course, a lot of manga from the 50s is, of course, obviously people who fought in the war, but actually I don't believe I don't believe this guy actually fought in the war. I think I read that. But okay, yeah, so yeah, he spent his boyhood during World War II, so he wasn't one of the people who, fought in World War II, but he did grow up during World War II. But yeah, that was the distinction I was making. And also he's from Kobe, which got bombed and everything like that. So I imagine that's also why he's writing, a character who is probably around the same age he was when this is going on, but what if I had, access to this super robo that I could, have done something with, that I could have fought back, that I could have, prevented, the bombing of his hometown, I'm sure. He's from Kobe. And okay, I don't think this is Japanese. I think this is the Americans or something, because just, looking at their designs here. But our reconnaissance planes happen to stumble upon this island, and this place just doesn't sit right. It has transport links that cut through the dead center of the island. After days of overhead flybys, we've come to the conclusion that this island is being used as a secret weapons manufacturer by the Japanese. Yeah, so, gotta be Americans here. That's precisely why we're launching a full-scale assault on that island. This operation could make or break our entire war effort, so I'll be needing your help, gentlemen. Jesus Christ. But I mean, if it is, if it was actually what they were saying it is, then it might, but... Alright. Very much, way more lower detail art than, Astro Boy, for example. But, trying to compare somebody to Tezuka, pretty crazy. But it is so funny seeing it so simple. And I assume this is a real plane. The Curtiss SB-2C4, the pride of the American Navy. Squadrons of them block the whole sky. Ever since the start of the Pacific War, they've posed a threat to anything in their wake. What a wild panel here, the clouds around here, then the sea, then the island, but there's some things where it's I am normally very much so against screen tones. I like manga much better without screen tones. Once screen tones started becoming very prevalent, it's it's very hit or miss. There's a lot of good screen tones as well, but for the most part, yeah, this is definitely the hindrance of not being able to have any screen tones of just it's a kind of mess of a panel. At the same time, you can understand what's going on in the panel. You can see the distinction between the clouds, the ocean, and the island. But it's got some of that early manga art that is tough to decipher because there's no real grays. And one, there's no real grays, and two, shading barely exists at this point. The concept of shading for a comic doesn't really exist much in America, doesn't really exist much here. It takes a long time for people to go, what about shading? And the workers down here, the Japanese workers, oh, look, those fly boys are back at it again. They'll just fly on like they always do. Nope. Bombing you. Yeah, panic, go get the guns. Okay, so they do have, fortifications here. A lot of, some good anti-aircraft guns. Trying to take them out of the sky, but these are good planes, as they said. These are the top tier planes. And despite the fact that I read World War II comics, and I've read plenty of one-shots from it as well, but I don't know the names of any of this the planes or the weapons or anything like that. Even though I love Marvel comics, have a whole spread at the end of some of the comics that's here's a spread of all the types of guns, the rifles that were used in this war. Here's all the pistols that were in World War II. Here's the planes and stuff like that. But that never sticks with me. But I do, I always think about the military otaku who must be super into that shit. And yeah, raining bullets upon them. They rain the bullets back. Okay, they do take out its engine. I actually kind of am liking how clean this art is compared to Astro Boy. It is objectively lower quality, but it's got a much more it's got that bigger art feel to it. Astro Boy's got very, very tiny. It's 3 panels per page. You can 9 on a page. Typical, Western comic as well. But I like this, more bigger paneled style. It allows everything to breathe a little bit more. It's the it's the two different, styles of manga all the time. Do you do a lot of smaller panels where there's a lot happening in each panel and you can do a lot more? Or do you, let the art breathe and you have a lot bigger art, but then you can get a lot less done per chapter? Comics still, deal with that, like, especially like old comics, you were getting a lot more bang for your buck than now, unless you're the kind of person who likes art more than you like, just a certain amount of story per chapter, right? And so, like, I think there is, like, depending on which one you like, each one could be better for you. And I do like that, seeing this more like, oh, okay, we're going, despite the art being objectively worse, we're making this more art forward than, like, Astro Boy was. I'm like, I haven't read any of Tetsu's other series. I'm sure a lot of his series are drawn in very different ways. He's probably very, like, all over the place. But just speaking about Astro Boy. But yeah, we got one. He's fretting over it. But yeah, they're destroying us as well. But just some nice action shots. And now the bombs. And then we've already seen here, like, yeah, just like the bombs going off. Then are we like transitioning? Okay, that was a transition panel. So every time I read an old manga and I'm confused, it's a transition panel. Every time. It's just something that we don't do in modern manga. If you see me talk about Astro Boy, you see me talk about it plenty. But if you're only watching these reactions, I should talk about it as well here. This like parallel transitioning is something I've really only seen in Prison School. I talked about it a lot in Prison School, where, Hiramoto would use parallel progression. We're seeing the hand of this guy dying here, and then we transition through a hand in the exact same position, but doing something else. It's something that you see, constantly in movies, in anime, in, TV, in whatever, and cartoons. But in manga and in comics, you actually don't see it very much, because it's not, if it's a movie, the images are overlaid. I mean, if it's anything visual like that, if it's anything with frames, then it's going to be overlaid, and you're transitioning between the two. You're fading between the two, or you're hard cutting between the two. But with manga, you can't do that. You literally do have to move your eye from one panel to the next panel. You do have to, like, turn the page or whatever, so it doesn't hit the same way. I mean, if it is manga, modern manga, it is in that way, where you turn the page, where it's like a flip style, thing. But yeah, but this, very rare. Doing a lot of rambling, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about in early manga, and especially when I'm starting a new series, there's always infinite to talk about. And so, okay, well, yeah, got Great Plains, but they can barely last an hour. And now, an announcement? Oh, nope, it's just like a air raid siren or something? Or not an air raid siren, but, a siren, I guess. Okay, no, that was an air raid siren, and, this is the Japanese, yeah, you should have seen, yeah, they look Japanese. But yeah, so this is the Japanese people of the island talking about, like, we should be safe down here, but nope, bunker buster. Oh, okay, I thought it was a bunker buster, but maybe not. But yeah, now they're gonna get to the bunker, so yeah, I guess it wasn't a bunker buster, by definition. And yeah, they did have a weapons facility. So is this where they're making Tetsujin 28? The way, like, 50s rubble is drawn, I don't know how to put it. Like, it's always very smooth rocks. But okay, this guy survived. July 1945. A certain incident occurred on a solitary island. It was thought there were no survivors, but that was not the whole truth. Okay, Tetsujin 28. Cool. What an awesome, like, so much of early manga is inspired by movies and TV and stuff like that, versus a lot of modern manga is inspired by manga. And so I love reading older manga because it's not yet fully being influenced by manga. And it's crazy to say that, but, like, you have that, I'm just now getting into Star Wars for the first time. I have no right to say this, but, like, I hear people talk about that all the time with Star Wars, of Star Wars is, constantly referencing Star Wars rather than referencing other stuff, which is what made Star Wars good. And, like, yeah, any kind of medium is that. Any medium, any genre, anything. That's also why I love doing this stuff chronologically, because surprise, surprise, the first iterations of a lot of stuff is actually really fucking good. You would think it's like, oh, it's probably pretty shit because they didn't know what they were doing. They invented a whole genre. Of course it's good. But, like, yeah, it's something I love to get. This is such a, like, movie, TV show, you know, sort of, like, opening title thing. And there, okay, he actually did use some screen tones on this. So I wonder, actually, if this was put in later for the volume release. Like, you know, if this was only in the volume release. Because we've seen some stuff like that in Astro Boy, old manga as well. Because, yeah, the fact that it has screen tones and stuff like that makes me think that this was put in later. And this isn't in the original thing. Which takes away from everything I just said. But also, to be fair, look at the art of the panel. It could be that the panel was the same, but then the title was put in later. I don't know. I think they did have screen tones here. It's just very notable that this is the only thing with a screen tone. But, actually, brief tangent, let's look up the history of screen tones. But yeah, of course this shit existed since, like, the fucking 30s and shit, so this shit's been around for a long time. I mean, like, this specific one I don't know about. Like, I think, you know, obviously a lot of screen tones are the ones you just cut out and literally paste onto the goddamn page, but like, you know, there's other ones that are like an ink thing that you press down and stuff, but either way. This is so digital, it feels like. But regardless, whatever. Moving on. It is 12:20 a.m. There's a meeting here between these two guys in suits, meeting with a bunch of other guys. They've got to kidnap somebody. Okay, you've been needing, but we'll be needing your car for a little bit longer. The kidnapped guy? Okay, so like this is the kidnapped guy's car. But that's the end of the chapter. This was the end of the chapter. Was this supposed to be here? Was this in the next? I assume it was. But that was so weird. And yeah, also this is like so similar to like the opening page of Lupin the Third as well. Like, so that this does feel like such an opening of a page. Huh? I don't know, but okay. And let's go through our, yeah, translated by Tongue Wolf, thank you very much. Cleaning by Toastman Jack, which I think we've seen in something else before, so thank you, Toastman Jack. Editing and typesetting by Retired Shogun, thank you. TLC, what is TLC? Translation? Something? I don't know. Gender, Love, and Care? By Systemic Chaos. Rawls by Vigorous Jammer. QC by Badney Madu. Project Founding by Burando 5, and credits page art by Doppel. Great credits page. That's also something, you know, these are not like super old scanlations either. These were only like 2 or 3 years ago, but like great scanlation group where you know you got a good scanlation group when everybody has roles like this and it's not just like 2 guys who are doing everything. The fact that, I mean, just in general, if your quality check is one of the people who's also working on the manga, that's bad. That's you can't do that. That's terrible. It's terrible. So the fact they have 2 separate QCs, yeah, fantastic. Chapter 2, A Chance Encounter. And yeah, like that first chapter, very like, if that was running in a magazine, boring as hell. Nothing really eventually, like, you know, the slight like, okay, that was a thing I read, but it really wouldn't stick with you. But okay, so we are sticking with these guys. Gonna pay the Shikishimas a little visit. The Shikishimas, aren't they rolling it in? Or rolling in it? But okay, need someone with a bit of capital. Here's the place. Alright, bing bong, ring the doorbell. And yeah, this is at, you know, like 12 a.m. And alright, now, let us in that damn house. She went from this to this. That is, we're like just woken up, you're all like, schlubby and stuff like that. Then instantly you're perked up when something's happening. Got a huge ass garden as well. Alright, he's right in there. Oh yeah, take us to the man of the house, they did say that. Alright. And yeah, okay, so just going straight for the safe. Not going for a bank or anything, but like, yeah, might not keeping his money in the bank. A lot of rich people don't. You're that trio that was stirring up trouble recently. Okay. And, not so fast, though. He was like, they know the combination, and he was going to put in the wrong combination. It was going to, like, alert authorities or something. Oh, no, okay, just there was a gun in there. Yeah, figured there'd be something like this. So, yeah, he unlocks it, and like, no, wait a sec. Yeah, you're here just for the money, not your life. Oh, okay, someone here. You best take your hands off that. Because I'll be taking it myself. What are you, Lupin? Okay, you're like, who are you? A military guy? Part of some gang as well? You can just muscle on our job? I don't know, maybe not military. It's just the way he's got the tight belt. But, cool face. You three had best head home. This won't go in your favor. Who are you? Okay, they try and shoot him, but it doesn't do anything. Looks like we're past talking. Rough him up a little, will ya? But did this guy, so like Tetsujin 28, this is Tetsujin 26, did it like stand in front of him? Or is he a robot? Yeah, I mean, if I, especially in the fucking 50s, if I saw a robot, like, I mean, that's also the thing. If I saw this today, it wouldn't be as scary back then, you know? That's also a big thing. Twofold. One, because we're a lot more used to robots now, but also, if I saw an alien that looked like a little green guy, you know, I'd be like, that's fucking crazy. That's absurd. I don't believe this. It's not scary. If you see that in the 50s, you're like, that's an alien. I believe that's an alien. Every media I'm watching right now is telling me that's an alien. And like, same, like, you know, you see this and you're like, all the media I'm seeing makes me scared of this. I'm obsessed with that sort of thing about like, not a period piece, but like, you know, reading something and thinking about the actual time period it was from. Like, this would be so much more scary because you believe in it. It doesn't feel as ridiculous as it does now. And it gets like, you know, Iron Man, we're just translating to robot. I am robot 26. I mean, maybe he's just saying robot 26. I don't know. What a bucket of bolts. Let him have it. Is there a better insult in the world than bucket of bolts? Truly, there's no better insult. Nothing sounds more pleasing to say as well. It's got a great mouthfeel. It's truly, like, so inoffensive. Like, even if robots existed, it feels so inoffensive. It's so childish. Yeah, bucket of bolts. But okay, tries to call the police. Thief of the sheet. Fucking the thief is calling the fucking cops. Yeah, we're robbing the place too, you idiot! Ooh, interesting panel here. I didn't know if he was like pulling the panel down or something, but no, this is just like just an interesting panel. He even had to do an arrow to say, like, by the way, read this one, then this one, this one. Which, I mean, comics do that too, by the way. That's so funny from like the 40s and 50s and even early 60s comics, where they have to be like, okay, then read this panel, then read this panel, then read this panel. Real quick, just because I love to talk about it. Talking about like the arrow, you got to read this page, then this panel, and this panel. Loved this panel from Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the 60s of Marvel, where because he's in this like maze of a Hydra base, you have to like solve the maze. You know, you go in here, you solve the maze to get to the next panel, and then you solve this one to get to the next panel, and you solve this one to get to the next panel, and then you're down here, solve this maze to get to this panel. It's a, you know, you wouldn't think to read in that order. You would think this panel, this panel, this panel, this panel, this panel. But no, it's boom, 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 boom. So weird. So weird. I love it. It's so ridiculous. Also, this panel being upside down, you gotta turn the page as you're going through. You know, like this one sideways, then you turn it again. I love old shit. But Tetsujin 26, yeah, the bullets don't do nothing, and then just gonna give some brain damage. And yeah, those two are trying to like take it out, but the other guy, Kenji, he ain't doing shit. Okay, yeah, he got an exit. Now he's drove out of fucking, you know, off a cliff, but he caught himself. And nope, too late. Lasers his ass, burns the tree. But okay, he might still live. Okay, yeah, he did in fact live. Okay, I thought he was doomed, but... And okay, here is Shotaro, assumingly, and another kid. I assume, you know... I don't know. Like, I guess he is... what was the name? The Shikishimas. Yeah, I assume he's their son. Maybe they have two sons, or he just had a friend over. Yeah, maybe because he's got a school uniform. He's got a school uniform on, too. I don't know. Maybe they're brothers, or maybe he's just a friend. Okay, yeah, grandpa, so I guess he does have a brother. Or maybe this is his family and he's the friend. I don't know. We'll see. But okay, grandpa didn't make it. What happened to him? Did we do anything to him? I guess, yeah, the robot did just grab him too. But yeah, we didn't really see what happened. But the robot did grab him like the rest of us. And if my father were here, he'd have made a better robot and this would have never happened. Was your father the sole survivor on that island? And yeah, so like, yeah, it's not his dad, it's not Shotaro's dad, so this is just his friend or something. Shotaro, that robot killed my grandfather, didn't it? And you guys got a picture of him up here. Was that the guy? Let's go back and check real quick. Okay, yep, that's definitely him. Definitely him. Okay, so that is his father. Okay, so this is Murasame Kinji. He was one of the thieves that was on the front page of the papers. What's going on with these thieves? Okay, he managed to live. He, tries to go for the gun, but step on it. Murasame Kinji, I presume. I know he's a kid detective. Okay, a lot of kid detective stuff in this time. I mean, I actually don't know if there's any in the Western stuff. I assume there is as well, but I only know it's like, you know, very popular in Japan right now. But Kaneda Shotaro. So okay, yeah, that's his name. Kaneda Shotaro. Seems you've heard of me. Yes, and Tetsuo's best friend. Okay, so yeah, Tetsuo. So like, I think it's just, is that just iron? No, Tetsu is iron. Tetsuo, I'm not sure what that would be, like iron something, or like Iron Boy. You know, but either way. So, like, that's also where the Tetsujin comes from. But okay, another one of the guys is here trying to stick us up from behind. And okay, yeah, the other guy's dead. And yeah, this is the guy who got his butt burned coming back in from outside. But okay, yeah, so now the cops are here. You gotta get out of here. Shotaro tries to stop him, but they get away. He's just, like, waving the gun around. But yeah, I guess they know him, you know. Well, but it isn't Kaneda. Alright, classic. After that car! And I like how sympathetic these thieves are, too. Very different from Astro Boy, where whenever we have villains, they are unequivocally evil. You are not supposed to empathize with them in any way. You aren't supposed to empathize with them 1%. But these, you know, thieves, you know, we are absolutely supposed to empathize with them. They have a lot of emotion. They are people. They are human. Alright, cool. We gotta get away from the police chase. We got a police chase, but we're, you know, trying to get away. What a weird way to say that. What a weird way to say that. Been around a bend. Ooh, black and white car. Cool. Wait, what just happened? We just stopped and then got out? Okay, and they're taking the driver with them. Oh, the driver they kidnapped and stuff who originally had this car. But, what's he getting here? Sorry about this, but you're gonna take a quick nap. Oh, okay. I thought that was this guy, but no. Yeah, so he's taking care of the driver. And then, let me know when you can see him. Alright, they're coming. Alright, let's get out of here. What did he do to the car? Maybe he, like, put a brick on the pedal or something? I don't know. Yeah, our car is the white one. Do we have a black car and a white car? I don't understand where this black car is coming from. Like, because this is the front of the car and this is the front of the car, right? I don't understand. Yeah, I thought the police had a black car, but no, they also have a white car. So there's just a random black car here. I don't know what the fuck the black car has to do with anything. But it does look like they have a black car here, too. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But either way, they assumedly put a brick on the pedal, and, you know, or a rock on the pedal, and it drove off. And yeah, we tricked them. They crashed into the sea. No way coming back from that. Given how fast they were going, it's easy to understand how. Okay, yeah, as well. And we also had time to get out, knock a guy out, put a fucking thing on the pedal. Like, we had plenty of time. And yeah, the cop coming here. Erupt into a group that ran rapid on our society. But, oh, what's that? A shoe. Muddy footprints and tire tracks. And okay, yep, found the driver in the bushes. Yeah, nearly pulled a fast one on us. It wasn't for the kid detective. Fucking cops. And yeah, I really like the way we're doing these thieves. This is really cool. You know, having read like a bunch of volumes of Astro Boy already, it's very interesting how different this is from Astro Boy. The fact that the thieves are, you know, humanized, that you empathize with them, that they are smart, you know, and the fact that they can pull off something like this. I mean, also, I also like reading Marvel Comics. Very rare that you would get, you know, something like this in Marvel Comics as well. Like, obviously, because the Comics Code, I don't know if Japan had something similar, but, like, you know, it's very, very telling, like, you know, how different this is and how different it's written. Oh, that was a taxi they had. Okay. And then they'd swap back to their own car here and crash the taxi into the sea. Okay, so that was their black car. The black car was their car they were coming up to in order to switch cars. Got it. They thought we wouldn't notice and that we'd spend our time looking into the sea. I mean, we would have if not for you. Fucking cops were not on this case. Also, just gotta say, like, the typesetting is great in the series as well. Like, props to the typesetter. Very, very readable, very big text, you know, very, like, you know, just very, very easy to read. I have such a problem with certain manga where it's like, even though the text is very big, sometimes I'll just pick a font that's, like, hard for me to, like, read aloud. I keep tripping up over my words so many times, but this series is not having that problem. So yeah, thank you, Retired Shogun. Chapter 3, One Thing After the Other. And now, okay, we got Tetsujin 23. A string of robot-assisted robberies. The robo-robbers strike again! And that makes 5. So, 5 robberies, including the one we saw. He looks like such an old man that's just very short, actually. Like, he does not... The fact that he spawned, like, Shota stuff is crazy. Because, like, you would think it would be Astro. Why was it not Astro? Why was it this kid? I'm so curious. But yeah, he's such a, like, older guy. Maybe that is it. Maybe it's that, like, vibe of, like, you know, the fact that he's acting, like, so mature and everything like that. I don't know. But alright, now a 6th one is underway. Can't believe they're stealing in broad daylight. I guess all the other ones have been at night, yeah. But, what's that sound? Another robot? Okay, Shoto's coming up. Get a look at this. What a case this is turning into. 6 electronics store, okay. So wait, there's 5 robberies after the one we saw then? So like the one and then 5 electronic stores, now 6 electronic stores, so 7 in total. But hey, that TV still works. Somebody's singing on it? But are we going to see something with the TV? What was the point of that? But then a scream? Oh, Chief, it came from the TV! Ah, run for your lives! So, okay, this is a live thing happening, and then he's appeared on TV. And he's got a different one every single time. It was 22, actually, the one from... no, 23, yeah, so he's got a different one every time. Alright, robot's heading for the control room. Alright. Let's go to the broadcasting station. God, I miss operators. I mean, I don't, but the aesthetic was so cool. The aesthetic of, like, plugging in, jacking in and stuff. So cool. I mean, we just don't do enough with comms and stuff in general, like, in media anymore. But, okay. So it speeds off, halts, and stops right in front of the building, assumingly. Okay, I didn't know if it was building up to something or not. All that matters is I get my man. God, you're the worst. But I like how he's drawn differently each time, like whether his hair is like down or whether it's up. But whoa, what just happened? Like he crashed or something? It didn't seem like he crashed. Someone threw something through his window, and now he's gonna crash. But he dodges in time. Gets out. What the hell's going on? An invisible robot or something, maybe? What is going on? It's just been flipped over. Yeah, all the cars just flipping over and taking some pics. But I could also see that maybe he's just like the first Shota character, like, you know, that originated from him, being his name and everything like that, because of, like, the art being, like, bigger and, you know, more emphasized. Maybe that's just it? I don't know. I'm still just, like, baffled by that. But okay, all our backup cars have also been flipped over. Huh, like, even one's not around here. And there's the sound again. Whatever that sound is. Hold on. But okay, so it's just like key and then extended emphasis. So like, yeah, just like key, which would be, you know, key as in like a screech, or it could be key as in like a like high pitched like robotic sound, like, you know, like a like key, like something like that, maybe like a turning on sort of thing, or just like a maybe like a sound of a robot flying past or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, looking it up on the sound database without the like emphasis, obviously, without the so to add emphasis, just key by itself here, like squeaking or creaking, maybe, perhaps, you know. I don't know. What is this sound? Okay, and that's where we end the chapter. So, truly, what is this sound? A fearsome power, chapter 4. Yeah, get the photos developed. Every single car had something stuck to its underside. I wonder what it is. A magnet. Gotta be a magnet, that's how they flipped them. Okay, Tetsuo came to visit us. Why are you all happy? Your fucking grandfather just died. But then, the sound again, and then straight through a tree that he thought was his friend? Or, I don't know, no, maybe not. Now keep your eyes on that tree, Shotaro. What the hell? I suppose I could give you a hint. Take a look at that. Okay, so he's got this tiny little toy. Good things do come in small packages after all. Look what happens when I press this switch. Pew! Yeah, the key. So okay, yeah, so was it flying? Key! And so, like, it went under the cars and lifted them up, maybe? I just found it in our storage shed. No real reason behind it, but I had to look in the storage shed yesterday. There was this little box stuck in the corner of the room. I wanted to see what was inside, so I opened it up, and I found this little machine in my father's diary inside. It looked interesting, so I started playing around with it. And yeah, so it's got this little remote control device as well. Before I knew it, I'd blown a hole straight through the wall. And I like the way he does these flashback panels. This is really nice. Very different. Like, you know, the fact that it's like not paneled, but then also paneled, but squiggly paneled. Just interesting, you know. I do think I actually like this better than Astro Boy in terms of like the art and stuff like that. I'm so curious to read some of Osamu's other series, and also, like, you know, as Astro Boy goes on, you know, how the art improves and stuff. But it's funny to say that because, again, the art here is objectively worse, but still, I think it's a little bit more interesting, more unique. All right, let's read this diary. So Shotaro headed to Tetsuo's house and started reading through his father's diary, but something caught his eye. I was based at a research lab on Mount Nurikura, but one day we received an order from the army. They told us we were to build robots. It was during the war, and Japan was at a disadvantage, so we were creating robots as fast as we could. It's starting. Oh, I like the way this is. He's reading it like it's, you know, he's reading his diary, so we get it like perforated paper. Oh my god, I've never seen that in manga. Yeah, hands down, this is better than Astro Boy, art-wise. Like, story-wise, you know, well, you know, who knows. But, like, art-wise, better than Astro Boy, gotta say. That's crazy. Crazy thing to give this guy props for, but truly, better than Astro Boy, art-wise. It started with 1, 2, 3, but we made 26 by the end. But the thing was, we were always having issues with their heads. What happened with their heads? The head would just explode, spin around, explode. Tested all 26, but they all could be disabled with a bullet to the eye. So we began working on a new robot, robot number 27. Robot 27 was leagues better than all that came before it, but still we were not yet satisfied. And so, we began production on another, robot 28. 28 was the very epitome of all the work we had done thus far. If we were able to create it, it would be the world's first giant robot, and Japan would be in a class of its own. But then what's going on with all the other robots? And if they were a failure, why are they working now? Everyone was eagerly awaiting the day Tetsujin would be completed. I mean, I guess if it's just a bullet to the eye, so they just haven't been shot in the eye. But roughly 5 months later, Tetsujin 28 was nearing its completion. So they were all just calling them robot, you know, yada yada, and this one is the first one they called Tetsujin, maybe? I don't know. But alright, they're gonna test it, they're gonna test it! Everyone gathered around, their eyes fixated and their breath held. Also, great typesetting. I don't know if this was also grayed out in the, you know, Japanese, I assume was, but great typesetting. Alright, flip that switch, turn it on. Increase voltage. More power. It's not moving. Give me more power. We can't. It's too dangerous. I'll do it myself. And it's got a completely different head as well. Got a much more human head. It's alive. It's alive. Gets up out of its mold onto its feet. Electricity just arcing everywhere in here. Yukishima, look, it's smoking. Oh no, it exploded! Jesus, okay, that didn't work then. And so another experiment resulted in failure. Faltered at the last hurdle. Damn. Ever since that moment, Japan's war effort only became more dire. We had to give up our research in robotics and we moved to an island that housed a secret weapons factory, where we were forced to work on suicide bombers. Though we did manage to keep the 08-115 as a little souvenir. The 08-115? Oh, the 08-115 is the little tiny one, okay. We never knew if Tetsujin 28's work would ever come to fruition, but we held out just in case. Oh, so they kept this little tiny little model. But this must be connected to what's going on here and now. Yeah, obviously. Obviously. And okay, now another Tetsujin 28 title. I guess that's all there is to tell. We're in quite the pickle, huh? But okay, so they thought he died in the war, but no. He didn't die in the war, he's just been making robots apparently this whole time. Maybe in an abandoned facility? Yeah, where are the robots being controlled from? That's first and foremost, obviously. But, sees the shadow, and, wait, which one are you? Okay, I assume you are the guy we were just talking about, Shikishima. Are you Shikishima? You seem a little off your game recently, so I came to see you, thinking I'd tip you off. Okay, wait, no, this is one of the thieves then. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Shikishima guy had glasses, so this is the guy who has similar hair, but not the glasses. This guy does have a bit of a same face issue, gotta say, but either way, so he just came to just show himself to us, or he is gonna give us a tip. Okay, look at the shops that were broken into. You just gotta connect the dots. Why? Why? And you seemed a little off your game recently. What's your deal? But that night, he does do it. Connects the dots. But okay, so they're all within this circle. They're all within this circle. But then a blackout happens. Was it just a storm? Nope. Maybe it was just a storm, but either way, Tetsujin 23, breaking through. Instantly grabbed a gun from who knows where, maybe just in his pocket. Aim for the eye. You just read the diary. Aim for the eye, not the body. Aim for the eye. And yeah, now he's getting surrounded. There's multiple ones, not just this one. But okay, go for the little mini one. Go for the 0815. And now that I got this, you're going to be scrap metal. Yeah, I mean, one, just because it's strong. Also, the way it's like slides in there like a stylus. So cute. Oh, love it. Very cool design. But like, you know, just because this thing is very strong, but it would also be able to probably like aim it like Yondu's arrow like straight into his eye. But okay, maybe that is what he's going to do, actually, because he aimed it right at its eye. Like, look, the speed line's right for its eye. Yeah, okay. I mean, he just got its head off, so I'm not sure if he actually went for the eye or not, but, like, either way. But okay, then it's Tetsujin 28. Suddenly, you know, just going from this to a big splash page of him breaking through. It's Tetsujin 28. Tetsujin 28 finally makes its appearance. It's time for Totoro, the boy detective, to make his comeback. And okay, what a weird way to cut that off. I really felt like there should have been an extra panel here or something. But and then another start of a chapter, but these have been combined for the volume release. I assume also, like, back here, because all the chapters have been, like, 14 pages each, so this was also probably a new chapter, just these few pages that we read, those, like, very few pages, but I think that was a whole other chapter there. And now, another one. Robot robbers running rampage. Shotaro finds something interesting in Professor Shikishima's diary. Details of a man-made metal monster going by the name of Tetsujin 28. And what would happen to come crashing through through Shotaro's home? Tetsujin 28! And also, yeah, the Tetsujin 28-go, like, the go suffix is, like, for ships and stuff like that. I assume, you know, they also use it for robots and shit like that. But, is it for, I mean, well, it's for, like, you know, it's for ships. Is it for planes and stuff like that? Or is that a separate suffix, I wonder? Like, is it a specific, like, I know it's for ships. Is it for, you know, it's also for, like, battleships and stuff. So is it for flying ones? But alright. I mean, I guess we just gotta fight it with our little tiny 0815. And it's actually not that big. It's so funny. Like, you know, when I hear, like, giant robo, you think giant robot. Not one that's 2 times the size of a child. So, like, you know, only a little bit bigger than a normal adult. Like, how big do we think this thing is? 8, 9 feet, maybe? Like, yeah, 8, 9 feet, I think. Like, not that big. Not that big at all. But yeah, like, again, I would have thought that the first giant robot was actually giant robot size, like a warship size. But, like, no, he is barely bigger. Like, I do wonder, you know, the early Iron Man, the one that was a remote control thing, not Tony Stark, completely separate from the 50s, I wonder if that, I think that was only, like, maybe, like, 7 feet. So maybe, like, a little bit lower than this. But, you know, not actually much difference. I thought there was going to be a big difference between that, but actually, not much difference at all. I would say that that's actually the first giant robot, then, if we're saying this is a giant robot. Let me relook at how big that was. Okay, yeah, here's a good image. way bigger than this one. Way more giant, actually. So I'm saying this is the first giant robot. Saying this is the first giant robot, this is the first Super Robo, is bullshit. Electro was, and yes, his name was actually Electro, not Iron Man. I was wrong, it wasn't Iron Man. Here's one from a modern comic to give you a good example as well. But, like, he was called Iron Man. He was called Iron Man plenty in the comics. I remember that. I remember, you know, and also the fact that his armor looks like Iron Man. He's such an early Iron Man, obvious thing. I think I just confused the two in my mind. But he was called Electro. Sorry, fucked that up. But yeah, way bigger than this fucker. That's the first giant robo. That's the first giant robo. And it's the same thing, it's remote controlled. Really, the only difference is that it has like a video camera of the guy's face on it, like who's controlling it, rather than like this being, you know, a separate. Alright, Shotaro goes to escape. And okay, yeah, it's the storm still going on. Super windy. Zigzagging through the trees. He is managing to get away, surprisingly. And then it goes to step on him, and it stopped in the last moment, and then just knocked him out instead. Okay. So they don't want to kill us, and we've seen that before with the thieves. They don't want to kill us. Okay, so he's got a jamming wave going on. Alright, so get the kid in the car, leaving this jamming signal behind. Some hours later, we wake up. Nice of you to drop by, Shotaro. Are you the same guy? Yeah, okay, yeah. So you're the two same guys, and this is your boss or something, or just another guy here? The Murasame brothers, okay. Ryusaku and Kenji. Yeah, we were just looking after this for you, toss his gun. You can have it back if you want. Not like it's loaded anyway. I guess we should give you this back too. You work hard as any adult has know, but you're still a kid after all, having this doll and all. Yep. Thank you so much. You don't know how much this means to me. And with this... okay. And with this... changing topic, why'd you rescue me? What? You can't just change topic like that? You were the one speaking. But okay, I wouldn't have saved without good reason. Need your help with something. As I'm sure you'll know, we want to get even with that robot for killing our brother Tatsu. It took us all week to find out where they were coming from, but it's not easy getting close to them. And yeah, I forgot there was a whole separate guy who was doing all this, not the thieves. My bad, that's still my mind for a second. And they've already lost 4 men, okay. That's where you come in. Can't rely on the henchmen too much after all. Yeah, they're pretty shit. You don't gotta be so blunt with it. That kid's getting a kick out of this. And yeah, no way I'm helping out a gang. Yeah, alright, you're giving the boss man some lip, huh? I'm gonna have to teach him how to talk back. And yeah, I'm gonna work with the police and bring the culprit to justice myself, and then you're all going to prison as well. But okay, they try and beat us up, but these are terrible henchmen. And yeah, he just fucking grabs him in a hold and slams him down through the floorboards. Okay, Shotaro pretty fucking awesome. And okay, this guy's got a knife, but he gets thrown instead. And I guess they would push it through each other or something? Or no, gunshot went off. Gunshot went off. But yeah, now, at pistol point, now you're gonna help us? But we just get him with 0815. You gave me something much better than a pistol. I'm sending it out again. Alright, we got him. Oh, but then he's gonna shoot us in the back. And it does seem like he shot us. And then he crawls for the pistol, and then... wait. Okay, so this panel was supposed to be before this page, actually. Quality checkers, come on. Or actually, I don't know. Actually, no, how would it? Wait. Huh. Because, like, it's almost like it should have been inserted between this panel. That's interesting. Like, yeah, this might be, like, also, like, the quality of it a little bit different, maybe? Maybe this is from the volumes redrawn, and this is from the magazines, but they wanted to include it as well. Because, like, you know, there's a lot of weird stuff with that with early manga where you're redrawing a lot of stuff for the volumes and rearranging the order of panels and stuff. But anyway, I think that's the same guy. Maybe that's a separate guy, actually. Maybe that's him or him. Wait, okay. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. But either way, he grabs the gun, shoots him in the back, and now... Okay, maybe... Okay. This was the end of a chapter. This is the start of a new chapter. We're recapping and seeing it again. Got it. Okay. Now, another big splash page here. Seeing vignette of that little moment. And yeah, did he kill him? Was it just a gas gun or something? And then he punches him. And he's like, oh, I want to stab this motherfucker. Grabs a gun. Yeah, you're going to shoot him? You're going to, like, ruin your career? No, no, he's not. I don't know. I don't know. What is... Okay, okay. Like, this is what I'm... Like, does he actually think that he's going to shoot him here? Was he worried for a second there? But, either way, he drops the gun. And yeah. Now, what are we going to do with you? But, okay, we just got to leave anyway. Can't handle it right now. Oh, but never mind, the cops are here. Alright, out the back. Fucking Homer Simpson-ass motherfucker. But the cops are actually at the back, so a shootout begins. Nowhere to go. Surrounded. And if Shotaro were alive, at least we'd have a goddamn hostage. Fuck, all out of ammo. Can't do anything. Alright, they just give up. And look how smug they all look. This is the end of the line, boys. Yeah, sorry, we killed Shotaro. What? Okay, what actually happened? The bullet missed his vitals. Okay, okay. So, he did get, it was a, real thing. But just coincidentally, he's okay. And looks like he's going to be alright after all. What a relief. I don't know if that's just because they actually like him, because they were, giving him hints and everything. They were, like, rivals to him, basically. Or if they're just like, well, also we didn't want to kill somebody, and also it's going to make our jail sentence not as bad. I don't know, but... No, and now the person, like, finished this drawing. It was, like, a sketch at first, but now they finished it. Cool. Okay, now 1 month later, also Chapter 5, the 11th Cell. The 11th cell of this prison, some mysterious, like, oh, we don't talk about the 11th cell, or, oh, the 11th cell, yeah, it's got all the worst people in it. This place only houses the worst of the worst. Yep, yep, yep. 1 hour for lunch, 1 hour for break. That's all they get. Alright, plan an escape or something? Yeah, what are you talking about, huh? Go on, get all of you! You wonder why they're the worst of the worst when you treat them like this. Heard anything about those robots recently? Not had sight nor sound of them for the past month. Alright, back to the cells. God, only an hour. That's insane. That night, at 10 o'clock, at night again. I mean, I was thinking, like, is it going to be like at midnight? No. He's smiling. Why? Do you have, like, a plan to break out or something? Yeah, oh, I can't take it any longer. Opens the door, then he rushes him. Alright, yeah, dumbass card. Absolutely dumbass card. Yeah, it went way better than I thought. Alright, changed his clothes. And then, okay, another guard's coming here as well. And, okay, so here he is. We're going to, Jesus Christ, leaps off of the balcony onto him. Yeah, and then he leaps off the balcony into a chokehold. How did you manage that? That's a wild thing to do. But, alright, knocks him out. Take those clothes as well. And, yeah, now they're getting the third guy, who's not going to have a uniform, so how are they going to handle this? Huh, like, what is he adding to this operation, I wonder? Maybe he's got, money on the outside, gems on the outside. But then did they catch us? It's just us two. Oh, it's just you two. Running any problems? Yeah, you could say that. Stick on. Yeah, because, like, if you show your face, they're gonna obviously see that it's not you. So, like, they've gotta just, you can't play it off for too long. They gotta surprise them. Yeah, take over comms and, yeah, tie them all up. Okay, all that was 13 minutes. Damn, that was smooth. And alright, they're coming over the wall now, so they have people on the outside they're going to meet. Yeah, 10:15 on the dot. My God. And okay, so he is the boss man, actually. I think KG, that's KG, I think. But yeah, he's the boss man, actually. Okay. But yeah, insane that they were able to, like, organize, like, we're going to break out at 10:15 on the dot. They knew the exact time and everything. That's crazy. And nobody knows how they got the word out, but their friends had a car waiting on the outside. So, okay, they did get a word out somehow. I don't know how. I think I would have, like, I would rather not have this. Saying nobody knows how they got the word out, it kind of makes me go, like, well, now that feels like a plot hole, whereas I wasn't thinking that before. But okay, they managed to get the phone off the hook. They managed to dial a number somehow, or just, get the phone off the hook and contact the operator. But, okay, so they're gonna alert them. Chapter 6, Shotaro's Victory. Okay, already. It's a relief that you recovered so quickly. And it is funny because, like, we're reading, like, multiple chapters, quote-unquote, but, like, truly all of this would probably be compiled into one chapter for, like, Astro Boy. Because Astro Boy also came out in, like, individual chapters that are then compiled into one chapter for the volumes. And, like, that feels like what this probably was, it probably was connected into one all big chapter later on. But, alright, now they're getting the call. And yeah, it's a jailbreak. Bad news, Shotaro. The Motasami brothers have broken out. Alright, need your help, even though you've just recovered. Yeah, you're getting dressed. Oh, I thought he was going to ask for our help, though, but... Nope, we're off on our own. Going straight there. No hesitation. Damn. Alright. Coming up the cliffside building now. I can't believe he's got a gun. It's so funny. I mean, especially reading Astro Boy, where, like, in Astro Boy, there's not a single gun in the whole series. Like, all the guns are mag guns or gas guns or whatever. So it's so funny just reading this and be like, oh, this came out at the exact same time, and this little boy's got a gun. It's just Tezuka. You know, it's not like some comics code thing. It's just Tezuka. Because also, I should say, this is running in the exact same magazine as Astro Boy as well. Alright, found footprints. And leading straight to him. Took the words out of my mouth, and okay, led us straight into a trap. Well, not really led us straight into a trap, we just kind of fell straight into the trap. Why did they return as well? They all left. Oh, okay, no, so the jailbreak, I thought he went to the jail, but I guess not. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was just like, you know, it's from when he was, you know, circling, like doing the circle on the map, and then he, like, found something, and now he's going there, I suppose. But he's going to where the robots were supposed to be, but they're not here. They've been stolen by the main villain. Okay, he does have a pretty good idea of where he's going, though. Where is that? Oh, no, sorry, that was Shotaro saying that. What do you do if I tell you? You might want to look behind you. What is it? Oh, okay, yeah, it's just an army of fucking cops. Okay, I see. So I knew you remember keeping an eye on the hospital, so I pretended to come here alone. And this is the hospital, apparently. But I made sure to call the chief en route. Okay. And yeah, okay, so yeah, I mean, you got no other option but just start shooting, basically. Yeah, don't they know when to give up? But, you know, when you're cornered like that... I mean, they gave up once before when the president, they're like, we're not going to be able to get out again, so now, you know, you got to just shoot. And they're like, let's just go outside before they run out of ammo. Yeah, go ahead and get shot in the head while you do it. Okay, they managed to get out. Unbelievable. Cowards. Now it's just Shotaro alone having a gunfight with multiple people with machine guns. God, Shotaro is a badass. I'm starting to see why people liked him. You, go take a look inside. Okay. Peers inside and nobody there. Yeah. Why would they not have just left while you guys all ran away like cowards? But yeah, was there not like a back entrance or something? Was this just a dream or something? Maybe it was ghosts. Look outside. Look outside. So like one way out, right? Okay. Any of the walls stand out as being odd? Huh. Alright, yeah, report it to HQ. Report what? 6 people vanished? I think you should wait a second. Alright, who left just now? 2 left to contact HQ and 4 more left to survey the surrounding area. That's them. Did they, like, kill police, put on their uniforms, and sneak in with us or something? Again, these thieves are insanely smart. They are so competent, it's awesome. And then, okay, they've let all the tires down. I assume that means they cut our tires, or, like, popped our tires, but I don't know. He really looks different in almost every single panel. I mean, he also just looks, you know, so much older. He looks like, you know, a high school student or like a college student from like the waist up. Like the fact that he's just wearing like these boy shorts, you know, that's like the only childish thing about him. But like wearing the boy shorts with this like detective suit is also like, I was like, high school, even that doesn't feel right because he's wearing a fucking detective blazer that I've never seen like a kid detective wear. But alright, blowing the road with dynamite too. These guys are good. How is this going to be your victory here? Yeah, just gotta call in backup. And yeah, we still have no idea how they got out of there. Or yes, we do. They assume they dressed up as us, I think. And yeah, whenever they plan anything, they plan an escape route. That's so cool. These are some of the most competent villains I've seen in a comic like this. Like, you know, in a, like, you know, issue of the week sort of thing. Yeah, very well prepared. But yeah, what was the escape plan? So they're one way out of the building. The only question is, how could they do it without arousing suspicion? They already had the police disguises. They already had them, so it didn't really matter. So they just like hid behind the door. Then when all the police guys walked in, they just walked out. And then, you know, we're just pretending like they were going to tell HQ. And yeah, they did deflate the tires. That's what they meant by putting the tires down or whatever they said. Yeah, they got you good, all right. They got you good. And yeah, that was the end of the chapter. That was Shotaro's victory. This was Shotaro's victory. All right, now on to the appearance of Tetsujin. Okay, again. This is the city of Toyama. Population 100,000. I never know how to say these numbers. 160,000. Then he hears a noise, and then suddenly, pop! His like bicycle handle pops off. Oh, okay, just because he got so scared seeing Tetsujin. So he just goes to carry his bike away. Yeah, everybody fleeing. Run, a monster, a giant robot. What's going on? Some giant robot is wreaking havoc. And yeah, just going through buildings, going through telephone wires. Yeah, stay in our homes. It'd be flattened in a pancake. Alright, deploy the tanks. Deploy the military trucks. Deploy the troopers. Deploy the JSDF in full force. Looking pretty good, huh? And yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that guy's got a sign that's basically just saying, like, fuck the JSDF. You know, peace and love, peace and love. Again, I'm much more a fan of this guy than Tezuka, actually. Honestly, I really like this guy. The fact that he just has a kid carrying a sign that's just like, fuck the JSDF. Like, really, the difference is Astro Boy is political for elementary schoolers. This is political for middle schoolers, at least. Like, you know, there is a difference there. Like, both are shonen, but, you know, shonen covers, you know, shonen for elementary schoolers, shonen for middle schoolers, shonen for high schoolers. Very different, you know, very, very different stuff. Alright, they open fire on him. And nothing. Just all of them bouncing right off. No dents. No, nothing. And then he just like gonna body slam him or something. Yeah, he just like, okay, ripped off the gun of the tank. The turret's apart. And then smashing the other tanks with it like he's fucking Hulk. Yeah, it was just one of those cheap foreign imports. I mean, why are you buying them then? But yeah, this is the first thing that's making him actually feel like a giant robot. You know, he's actually destroying all this shit. And alright, yeah, forget about those thieves. Giant robots showed up. Gotta go to Toyama. Get the police helicopter. Cool. Damn, they got a lot of them. Oh no, those are newspaper helicopters. Okay. But nice aerial shot. Like, you know, super low detail, but like nice little sketch. And with this many people hanging around, they can't even drop any bombs on it. It's in the middle of a city. I don't think you should be able to do that regardless, but... And now he's going up to a little girl. Mommy! Alright, going in close. You're gonna try and shoot him? No, you're gonna go down the ladder. God, okay, this kid's actually really fucking cool. Yeah, this kid's dope. I love it. I see why people are obsessed with this. Alright, he got her. Now, pull us up, but he grabs the rope. He's gonna yank that helicopter out of the sky. And, oh my god, they stole a chopper too. And they're gonna try and steal the giant robot, I assume. Or maybe they're gonna try and take out Shotaro. But no, they don't really want to take out Shotaro. You know, they need him. Yeah, do something. What do you want us to do? And yeah, what are we gonna finish him off here? Yeah, it's not my style. So okay, they do want to kill him. I guess they don't need him anymore. But they're just like, you know, I don't want to kill him like this. So okay, we'll help him out. Okay. So okay, yeah, just shoot the rope. Yeah, very hard to hit something like that then. I thought they were just gonna do it, but okay, what? Use this. Shotaro dropped this last time, so I took it with me. Oh my god, he's got 0815. Cool. And yeah, there we go. Alright. Cut it. Drop it. Hell yeah. Now we get away. Yeah, but who in the world created that monster? And here's our main villain here. Could that be number 28? But it's acting strange. And okay, so it's not his. I thought it was, because like, back when we first saw it emerge here, like, yeah, there was a guy behind him. So, who the hell is this guy? Who the fuck are you? But the giant robot went right back to trampling through the town. And now he's going to the broadcasting station. Oh, yeah, okay, try and hold the line. Open fire. But nothing. Didn't hold the line for more than half a page. Who the fuck are you? Are you the guy who made him, actually? Are you, I can't remember the name, I don't know why. But, like, yeah, the dad that made him. The creator. And, alright, busting through the shutter doors. God, is he doing this on perfectly? Yeah, he's acting strange, obviously. Like, what? You know, someone give him these orders? Was it like the main evil guy that gave him these orders? And so he's just like, but why? What does the guy want? I don't know. What does the main villain want? He's going to electronics stores, so I guess, you know, he's bringing this. So yeah, first thought he was just going to be wrecking the place, but no, he just wants the machinery. Makes sense for whatever he's using it for. World domination. I don't know. While the robot was attacking the broadcasting station, Shotaro dropped off a young girl somewhere safe and made his way back to the helicopter. And yeah, this is the 5th time broadcasting station has been attacked. Okay, so, no, it'd be the 6th. Okay, so, yeah, it's been 6 times these electronic stores, and the first time he just needed, like, the money to start. Okay, yeah, just follow it. Yeah, wherever it's taken this, just follow it there. But then it glows, so that way we can't see where it goes. Damn, that's actually genius. Never seen something like that before. And as a getaway thing, just like, no, you know, I'm walking very, very slow, but even if you try to keep up with me, it's not going to matter. I'm too bright. You're not going to see where I am. And oh god, it caused numerous helicopters to come crashing down. Jesus. Good destruction panel there, though. Oh, but okay, yeah, they're okay. And you can't see it anywhere. Need to head to Mount Norikura. Is that where Tetsuo's father's diary said something about it? Right. Okay. Yeah. That was mentioned in those diaries, so that's why he was like, oh, I know where, it might be. And yeah, now they're going after Shotaro, gonna follow him. And meanwhile, a lone helicopter took flight. Doesn't look like one of the newspaper helicopters. Dun, dun, dun. But I don't think it's even. I think it's just the crater. But yeah, also, interesting paneling situation here. Just interesting. And okay, so they know that one of them belongs to the Murasame brothers. They know that's a Murasame helicopter for sure. This is an interesting dynamic, though. I like this. Before long, they entered the Hida Mountains and were headed straight for Mount Norikura. Yeah, where do you land a helicopter on a mountain? There's as good a place as any. All right. Yeah, where's the other helicopters? Okay, well, they trail off at some point. Now, dead end. You just gotta go up. Don't be silly, I'm too big boned to make it up there. Come on, Chief. Don't look down, Chief. I wasn't going to, but now you got me curious. Oh, very funny. Yeah, they're like scaling this hardcore too. Like this is nothing to fuck around with. This is a hardcore scaling. They are true mountain climbing. But okay, as soon as we get up to the top, a bunch of people point guns at us. Wait, are they saying, who the devil are you? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like it would be us, but then he's saying, can't you tell I'm Chief Inspector? Yeah, I guess they were asking. I guess it was this guy right here, like those legs. You're the Japanese police? Don't think we're scared of you. Get up! Is Shotaro slipping? Or, okay, no, he was just like preparing for a kick. Preparing for a kick. And yeah, these seem like some Americans. Yeah, Americans, perhaps Russians, maybe. But either way, Shotaro, extreme badass. Extreme badass. Well done, my boy. Alright, yeah, who the fuck are you? Who the hell are you guys? You're the ones controlling the robot? No, they're not. Rather brave for a Japanese boy. Another shot fired. Yeah, who the fuck are you? Who are you? Answer me. All in due time, my boy. Stop. Go on. Explain. Who are you? But a rumble, an earthquake, and rock, like a rock fall. Not an earthquake. Someone's performing tests down there. The robot that all of Japan is waiting for was built in the lab beneath our very feet. Been trying to meet with someone from the lab, but no dice so far. There's another quake. And make yourself at home in the cave. So yeah, these men might also be after Tetsujin. We have a fourth party, maybe. And they got a fucking, yeah, they got a full-size helicopter in here. They got a, whatever that thing's called, a carrier, helicopter carrier. Or, no, that's not what it's called. Oh, what is that thing called? I can't remember. And okay, they call it the two men from the black helicopter, but the man from the other helicopter is unaccounted for. But we got the Murasame brothers. Oh, so they call you too, Shotaro! I like the dynamic we have with these guys. Alright, this guy, you go search. Alright, but, yeah, they find him. I don't know why I said but no, they do find him. Yeah, okay, they capture him, but he's gonna fight back. Okay, maybe, maybe this isn't the father. That's just the fact that I would assume he'd be weakened, but it's also probably been a couple years, assumingly since that first chapter. Tries to run for it. Okay, he dodges. They do have, like, mag guns as well. They don't have normal guns. They got mag guns. And you think we saw a ghost or something. Like, where'd he go? So he just, like, dived into the grass or the ground or something. And then behind them, Ghost? You think that's a fucking ghost? You think that's a fucking ghost? And then he literally backhands them. He backhands their ass. Oh my god. Took him out. Help! Help! Edge of the cliff. The cartoony edge of the cliff. Oh my god. Being pushed further and further like a lemming. Until I don't actually know what's happening on this panel here. Or this panel. Oh, okay. This is a foot causing the ground to crack. And then, I don't know what we're seeing because we're seeing mountains. And then we're seeing this. What am I looking at here? Like, obviously there's some rubble and stuff, and like this is shaking. But I don't know what I am. I guess, okay, this is the peak here. This is like this part right here. Yes, and then there's the mountains right there. Okay. So like that's the little peak part coming apart. Oh, these panels were bad. But okay, then it collapses. They fall down. Also, let me be clear. I knew that this must have been the cliff cracking and stuff, but I was just like, I can't visually see what it is. But now I finally was able to. But alright, it's not going to do anything to him. Yeah, he's just going to crawl right out. But he is actually like sparking up a little bit. So it did actually do something. It did something. Is that guy just dead? Or, okay, yep. We just needed one more panel of him being dead. Okay, in the last chapter that's been translated so far, so I don't think we're going to come to an end to this storyline, which is crazy. We have, Tetsujin 28 has been almost not in this at all. That's crazy. We might have a few other chapters after this to read. I'll check, you know, there's like a colored version that, you know, we'll see. But, Thundercloud. Okay, so these men are the PX Syndicate. Didn't you see their badges? Nope, never even heard of them. Well, they're famous in the less legitimate circles. They're from Europe, so they don't do much over here in Japan. But I wouldn't go out saying their name out loud. Okay. What does the PX Syndicate what does PX Syndicate do? I thought you were going to say, what do they want? But yeah, what do they do? And yeah, he's saying, like, I wouldn't go saying their name out loud. What does the PX Syndicate do? They're smugglers. The biggest smuggling group in the whole world. So they want to, like, smuggle this, you know, robot out of Japan. There are thousands of them spread in countries all over the globe, but their true numbers aren't really known. So yeah, he's got all nationalities. They have submarines, jets, and everything in between, and they'll do anything they set their mind to. Classic 50s and 60s thing, way more than 60s, way more than 60s. But, you know, the concept of Factor 3. You have America, you have Russia, and then you have Factor 3. So if they think someone's going to rat on them, they'll disappear before they know what hit them. That's why nobody's heard of them. Okay. I mean, like, you know, the only people who have heard of them are, like, the, you know, the unscrupulous people. Okay, they're using the robot to smuggle something out. Not smuggling the robot out, using the robot to smuggle. That feels like way too many steps, and so, you know, it's very, you're drawing a lot of attention, you know? Alright, they can bring us some food. They got a professional chef with a mask on and everything. I'm not eating no food from no wrongdoers. Well, for us then. Hey, this is actually pretty good. It's so funny that actually his design goes back and forth between the two cops from Astro Boy. I don't remember their names because I don't give a fuck about them. But like the two cops, the chief and the I don't remember what the titles are. But either way, like the fat one and the skinny one, he constantly goes back and forth between the two, depending on the design. But yeah, serves you right. You said you didn't want it. I mean, you never know. We're going to get the chance to escape. You can't fight an empty stomach, can you? Isn't that right, Shotaro? Well, you do make a good point. Now he's going to eat it too. Well, if I must, I must. Okay. Looks like someone's been bumped off. Yeah, was the ones fighting the, you know, the lone guy. Or no, this would have been like, you know, from Tetsujin 28. Those guys. But okay, thunderclouds coming, rain's a coming. I want that helicopter covered over. Okay, put a big sheet over it, big tarp. The lightning, the rain, the storm. And then we're gonna use the storm to escape. But the lightning is maybe gonna strike Tetsujin and like revive him again because he was kind of, you know, something was going wrong with him. Thought lightning never struck the same place twice, but it keeps striking there. We'll check it out later. Wasn't long before the rain let up. And then, okay, yeah, that was the end of the chapter. That's the last one we gotta read. What a weird thing. What a weird place to leave off. Now I'm like, I don't know. This video is going to be so weird to upload because it's just in the middle of a thing. But, you know, it will be what it is. I'm going to check and see, you know, if there's, you know, something else. Like, there's like another colored version of it, and there's like a third colored version of it or something. There's like multiple entries of this on Manga Dex. Some of them had other chapters. I'll see what we can read. Okay, so we actually do have some more to read. This is going to be really weird and unfortunate. So, the version that I was reading was not the original version. That was a version that was put out in like the 80s or something, and you know, a different version of the comic with also like a different storyline slightly and stuff like that. So, this is it's called feature length or full length detective manga Tetsujin 28 full color. It's like the full title of it on Manga Dex. But anyway, so this is all going to be in full color, and this is the original run from 1956, 1957 or whatever, and also was like turned into volumes in 56, 57. Yeah, this is the more accurate one. Okay. And like very interestingly, you know, Tetsujin right here, and then we have this one here as well. But I think like the previous volume only had this one on the cover. It didn't have this guy, you know, the actual Tetsujin, so interesting. Yeah, like I don't know what the hell this is going to be at all. If that's going to be, you know, another version of Tetsujin or something, I don't know. But so we're going to re-go over chapter 1, which again, as I said, like everything we read previously was all part of chapter 1. So we're still, you know, like even though I was saying chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, that wasn't actually, in reality, that was just like the 80s version of it where it separated them into chapters. But originally, you know, this, like each volume has one chapter in it. And yeah, so like, yeah, this is a reprinting of the hardcover book, A5 size, that was published in 7 volumes by Kobunsha from 1955 to 1956. The color pages of the original are faithfully reproduced. And this is a book that includes content from the early stages of the series that was not included in the Kappa Comics version. That was the version I read, including Tetsujin appears, and there is almost no duplication of content. Meaning, like, you know, all the panels are going to be different, but like it still might follow similar stuff, but like it's all drawn differently. It was completely redrawn for the Kappa Comics version, it seems. And again, like, if you've been keeping up with the channel, you're familiar with this kind of thing. It happened with Gege and Kitaro as well. Like, you know, so we're used to this before. And please note, in this first volume, Tetsujin 28 is referred to in the same way one refers to an object, rather than as one refers to a person's name. I mean, yeah, okay, I might not, you know, read this because this feels like a little bit of a spoiler or something, but, like, you know, most people obviously have seen the anime, so they're more familiar with this, but I'm not, so, that's like a, by the way, for the thing you're familiar with, this is why it's different, I don't need to know that. So, okay, here's how, you know, chapter 1 started originally. So, let's get back into this. Prologue. On July 10th, 1945, a sudden wave of 500 US B-24 bombers attacked an isolated island in the South Sea. And, yeah, this is like a bunch of B-24 bombers. Interesting, like, you know, they changed up what planes it was for the, you know, the later version, the Kappa Comics version. But yeah, I'm probably just going to be skimming through this. We're not going to be, like, really rereading it fully. I'm just going to be skimming through it, like, telling you what's different. Ooh, I do like this. Like, the 2-hour bombardment even changed the shape of the island. I like that. Everything on the island was killed. There's a little banner like that. And yeah, I'm not sure if we were told how much time has passed before in the previous version. Did we? Let me check. Yeah, there was no indication that, like, everything we were reading wasn't happening a day after that. I thought everything that was happening in the series was in 1955, but clearly it wasn't. It was supposed to be in 1956, but I assumed it was all in 1945, I meant to say. But yeah, so this is supposed to be taking place in the 50s. It's also very interesting, like, the art's so much better here than when he redrew it. When he redrew the art, it was a little bit more confusing. Okay, interesting that the whole stuff with Tetsuo showing him the robot and stuff that his father built, so much different than the 80s version. Like, my god. So, you know, the 80s version is so weird with him just standing outside so creepily, like, it was such a weird, you know, it is a very 70s, 80s, you know, more thing to do, to be fair. That just, like, weirdness around it. But, so he just, like, came here and was panicking and stuff. I was like, I want to show you something, look at this. And it's a robot. And it doesn't look like the 0815, it looks like, you know, just one of the normal ones, you know, one of the just normal ones, but before 28. And okay, this one also actually has a reason. It came from my father's bookshelf. When I was cleaning up the mess, I found my father's diary, and this is inside of it. Rather than in the other version, the later version, where he was like, I found it, there's no reason why I found it, don't ask why I found it, it's a plot point, don't question it. But in here, it's like, no, there was a reason. But yeah, the only difference from this flashback was just that, like, the whole 0815 tiny little robot, not in this at all. That was a complete thing added for the 80s version, not in this in the slightest bit, which makes sense. It felt so weird and out of place in the 80s version. Like, I really loved it. It's a cool idea, but I was like, this feels so, like I was not expecting something like this at all. But makes sense, because it wasn't in here at all. Okay, the only other thing that's been really different about this is, like, all the Murasame brothers stuff, all the thief stuff, not really in this. They are in this, but what I'm trying to say is, like, the whole police chase thing didn't happen. The whole 11th cell thing didn't happen. So, like, yeah, a lot of that stuff, not in this, actually. But yeah, like, they are characters in this. They were just, like, they were given a lot more, and also just, like, everything was, like, stretched out a lot more in the 80s stuff. This is 41 pages. In the Cap Comics version, we were 156 pages in. So, yeah, big difference. But yeah, and a lot of the praise I gave this thing was better than Astro Boy. I mean, it was from the 80s, so... But yeah, maybe I'll take some of that back, actually. Because a lot of the stuff that I was really, really into that I was saying was better than Astro Boy, not in this version. Also, the sign saying, fuck the JSDF, not in this version. So, we're back where we left off, with the PX gang is going to check on the lightning struck in the same place twice. Something strange sticking out of the ground, and did his antenna get, like, huge or something? But okay, so no, it's okay. I was thinking it was, the robot. But no, this is just an actual lightning rod that's generating electricity for, all the experiments they're doing down there. But alright, yeah, now here's where the guy was supposedly dead. I mean, not supposedly dead. Here's where he was supposedly when he was definitely dead. And then, okay, he does find something. A hatchment. Nope, just found a change purse. Yeah, not helpful. But okay, but that indeed led to him finding the trapdoor. But yes, that's how he, like, dove into the grass and seemed to disappear. It was an escape hatch. And okay, they're just leaving 2 guards. That's it for all of us. We got, yeah, like, the 2 of these guys, but then also, like, they're saying, like, oh, they're just for us. But, I mean, really, 4 people in total here, and we got 2 guards to watch us? I think you definitely underestimating them, as they say. And he sees rope right around by his foot. Yeah, brace yourself. He winks at him. Drops a handkerchief. He dropped your handkerchief. Oh, thank you. Leans down to get it. Pulls the rope. Trips him up. And then tackle the other one. And then, okay, Shotaro as well. Yeah, like, I'm glad, Shotaro is just getting involved. I'm not sure what their exact plan was going to be. If, because they're both kind of dealing with him. It doesn't seem like they were going to jump this guy. So, if Shotaro didn't, I wonder what, would have happened. But, alright, now we turn the tables. And we let them, I mean, I guess we can't, like, take the gun away from them, but, we gotta wait for the situation to finish first. Alright, hell yeah, we're gonna have to team up with the thief, team up with the villains. Cool. And yeah, got a vendetta against that robot, killed my brother. And then we're spotted. But okay, yeah, just gotta take him out. Again, another, like, mag gun, it seems. Like, interesting. But he did kill him. Okay, so, like, yeah, in Astro Boy, the mag guns don't kill people, but these are the ones do. I love how the footprints in this manga are always just, like, the most clear, classic footprints. Like, they wouldn't actually look like this, but it's always so cartoony. But they just, like, lead right up to here, so there we go, the entrance. But just straight to a dead end. Oh, no, okay, never mind, there's a button. And, whoop, elevator down. That's a great trick. It's a dead end with just a single button. I feel like anybody could figure that out. Okay, cool. It lowers them into, like, a, split, 4-way hallway. That feels so, like, a Doom map, It feels like a really early FPS, like, map design sort of thing. And yeah, should we each take a hallway? No, we should probably stick together. But okay. And so, lights come on, sirens come on, they, like, spot us or something. And who the hell are you? Some guy in a, like, white mask? Like, the fuck? Where'd you come from? And then, yeah, like, this guy is... we need names for all these people. It was just, but... I don't know. What calls this to... And then, what are you doing here? I hear a voice, but I don't see anyone. What... I mean, is that this guy here? Man, this red is so hard to take in. The red does not look good. And okay, so maybe this guy is the guy. Oh no, he was wearing a white suit. Yeah, he was wearing a white suit, so it can't be that guy. But yeah, he's saying, like, is this the one holding the voice of the one holding the Tetsujin robot? Like, the white suit guy. Oh, what's that? What? Why don't you give that Tetsujin to us? If that is your question, the answer is no. And okay, so it is him, this guy in this mask. We can pay you any amount of money you want. No! Now get out! But yeah, so, like, this is the guy running the facility, and, you know, obviously the PX gang is coming in here to infiltrate, this guy's coming in here to infiltrate, we're coming in here to infiltrate, the Murasame gang is coming in here to infiltrate, and the white suit guy is coming in here to infiltrate. So, we have got a fuckload of factions working all at once right now. And yeah, they're not going back empty-handed. But okay, so, wow, you fools! Presses the button and zaps them. Oh, no, creates a, like, barrier. Like, trap him in. I thought he wanted him to leave, but... Okay, no, I guess he is just, like, sealing off their way forward so they can only retreat. And they retreat straight into us. Another gunfight here. And again, yeah, these are all just mag guns this time. I mean, I guess... These guys just probably have futuristic weapons in general, being like Factor 3. You know, whenever you have like a Factor 3 in spy stories, they're usually, you know, they got a bunch of future tech as well. So that's probably why they got all these mag guns. I mean, to be fair, I'm calling them mag guns, but it seems like that might just be more like lightning guns or whatever, as opposed to like magnetism and stuff like that. Like, which, I mean, you know, it's still kind of electricity, but like, this seems more like just guns that shoot bolts of electricity, that's it. But yeah, we're destroying the facility, so he's going to activate the Tetsujin. Yeah, robot comes out here, takes them all out. Can't do anything. Just hold him under his armpits like that. God, this guy's loving it. There was also, you know, we have had a villain like this in Astro Boy as well, like with that design. So they rush to a safe room, get themselves inside, but, oh, it looks like from inside he's attacking them. I'm not sure. Or no, oh, I see. I'm sorry, I read this wrong. Yeah, I thought he was like closing it or something, but no. They close it, then this guy's like, no, wait, let me in, and then he gets attacked. I see. But alright, everyone back on the elevator, and up we go. And yeah, like, very different from, like, you know, how the PX gang handled somebody getting left behind and how we handled somebody getting left behind. But okay, the robot left him alone. He went the other way. And there's a map at the end of the hall. Alright, never nothing to worry, just get out of here. Alright, so we actually do get a whole... I love it. This is the shit I love in 60s comics. Like, early 60s comics, they stopped doing it very early in Marvel, which sucks, but I love this shit. Getting, you know, getting maps like this. Yeah, like cross-sections, really. Like, cross-sections, the amount of cross-sections we got in, like, the very early 60s stuff, I loved. But okay, so, like, we came down the entrance here, assumingly, and then, yeah, I'm not sure what these, like, little X marks are for. But, so we came down, yeah, okay, so here's the main antenna that goes all the way up through that area, and the main laboratory down here, and that's where our, you know, hooded man is. He is down in the main laboratory at the very bottom. So, keep going down this way, and there's another elevator that can take you down here, and then, okay, so the Mystery Man is on his way down to the main laboratory. The Mystery Man being, right, the Mystery Man isn't the one who has control of the Tetsujin robot, then he's not the one who's been grabbing a bunch of electronics and broadcasting stuff. So, maybe, yeah, I don't know. But then, we have, the PX gang heading this way, and then, where are we actually at? Okay, Shotro's party is up here, so we went up the elevator here, or maybe up the elevator here, but the fact we're walking this way, but there's no elevator here, so assuming we did go up this way and we're just, like, turned around for some reason, or maybe we are still walking that way, but either way, I think this is the elevator we this can't be the elevator we came down on. This has to be the elevator we came down on. So then, how did we just take... I guess we just took another elevator back up. Like, this elevator is not the same elevator we took down, I assume. So otherwise, I'm not sure how the fuck that would work at all. Or, never mind. Okay, entrance number 6 used by Shotaro and the PX gang is right here. Okay, so they came down to a, you know, a dead end that was, like, right here, then took the elevator down to right here or something like that. But okay, so the entrance number 4, and I'm not sure if we've seen that one. Or, I'm not sure. But, so, okay, so they came down that way. Now they're heading this way, interestingly enough. Like, they came up the elevator, but they're still staying in here. They're not, like, heading out. I mean, we're just kind of running away right now. We don't really have a goal. Like, we need to stop, you know, this, but, like, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Anyway, then there's, like, a catapult ramp up here, which catapults off a plane into the sky. It's also got some, like, anti-aircraft guns there, I think. Because there's also another one here, but I think that's an anti-aircraft gun. It could just be connected to the catapult ramp thing, to be fair. But then, yeah, another anti-aircraft gun, or maybe just a one here, pointing out this way, and entrance number 5 to come down here for the secondary experiments, and then just laboratories. And yeah, I think that covers everything. love a good cross section here. But how many people are here? Is there just one guy here? Like, you know, this guy, is he the only one who's doing everything here? Are there other scientists? What the fuck's going on? The X marks the control room. The X marks the control room, and he must be looking at something else, because these X's are not for the control room. Or like maybe they're for individual control rooms, not the main laboratory, but for control rooms, whatever that means. I don't know. But we can get to the lab. So, yeah, the main laboratory, so, I don't know. Okay, through the secret door. Maybe the secret door was the X's? I don't know. But there's some hatches to the ground and stuff. Alright, pop up here. Well, what do you know? We made it here. But yeah, this guy's worrying. But something behind them. Okay, there's the Tetsujin from the cover. Okay. And even greater, another Tetsujin 28? We're gonna have two of them? But yeah, it is Tetsujin number 28. So this is the number 28 model the Japanese military was researching a long time ago. Yeah, okay, but he's not saying that the current one that we've been fighting, like, you know, the one that we fight, like this one's also Tetsujin 28, wasn't it? I thought it was. I'm pretty sure that's what they said, but, you know, either way. But alright, no, it's not finished yet. I don't believe you. Go check the controls. If it was finished, he'd be using it on you, idiots. But alright, power that sucker up. Just like all the ones before. Such a wacky design. Yeah, it's like a knight helmet. Interesting. The other one's got like a very humanoid look, and this one's got a knight helmet with a long nose. And okay, it busts out of its fucking chains. The fact they had it shackled is so funny. And okay, yeah, then it just bends the rest of it all. Great, but his radio receiver isn't completely done yet. So the thing to turn him off, you haven't finished yet. Oh my god. And the electricity's going all over the place, so can't even get to the controls to do it manual. Alright, gonna try and contain him in. Okay, that was number 27. Okay, so this one was number 27 the whole time. My bad. I really thought this one was 28. But no, okay, so this one was Tetsujin 27. But alright, Super Robo fight. Robo versus Robo. Hell yeah. Alright, nothing like that in the you know, Electro comic from the 40s, as I was talking about the Marvel one, so this is definitely unique in that regard as well. Also, again, I was so hung up on this one being Tetsujin 28. In fact, this one's Tetsujin 28, you know, will tell me more, but it still looks about the same height, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, yeah, just trying to contain it here. And now the Mystery Man appears. And number 28, that's the original number 28. Yeah, you're the guy in the third helicopter. Again, it's got to be the dad, got to be the original creator. The real number 28 is that one, but there's something wrong with him. It's like he's gone completely berserk. And yeah, so, okay, the real number 28. So, the other one we have been saying was 28, but now we're saying it's actually 27. Yeah, that's the original number 28. So, okay, I'm not wrong. They have been saying 28 the whole time, but now we're just getting a reveal of like, oh no, that actually wasn't the real one. Damn, he's like using a steel girder to beat him as well. Yeah, they're just like fighting like fucking Frankenstein monsters. But yeah, not great art for like the fight. You know, Astro Boy definitely got 1,000 times better art for fighting. Like, even though we're getting big ass panels and stuff of that, not, you know, it's pretty weak, very weak looking. But he managed to take down 27. Of course, he is the upgraded model, even if he's not fully finished. And yeah, I spent 15 years of my life working on it. So the fact that we were saying, like, you know, it's been more than a decade, has it been, well, 45 to, you know, 55 would be only a decade. So is this actually like 1960? Is this a little bit in the future or something? Or is it just like a year over, like, you know, 11 years, 1956? You know, I don't know. But either way, saying I spent 15 years of my life working on it. So were you working on this during the war and stuff? Or has it been 15 years since... and you've been, you know, working on it since the project was stopped. But okay, so we could still stop it if we could send a strong enough radio wave, even though his, you know, radio wave receiver is not supposed to work. I mean, at least it's, you know, well, once the receiver is complete, it can only accept one signal, but right now it accepts anything. Okay. And just, you're gonna kill me? Yeah, now that we told, I was like, yeah, it was a crazy turn, but true. I mean, you just told him everything, so. And now, they kill him straight. Oh, wait, nope, never mind. We killed one of their guys. And alright, they give up. And alright, bring him back to the helicopter. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let this little brat get the better of me. Oh no, what are you gonna do? But as we're loading him in, the Tetsujin starts coming after us again. I didn't realize it was still alive. What the fuck do you think happened? Alright, thank God. These look so much better. Oh, that red was hard to get through. But now, as we loaded them all up in a helicopter, we try and get in after them, and nope, they just kick us out. And they take off on the helicopter. So now we're here to fight this thing on our own. We don't have no 0815 in this version to help us. And yeah, just smacks the gun out of his hand, breaks it as well. Cool, like, swirly panel, that fear. Just barely escapes the foot. Alright, yeah, run onto our helicopter. There's so many helicopters here. Or, I guess the one we came. But there's also so many of that, like, you know, the ones that carried a ton of people. But alright, so just, we're each going to get back to our original helicopters. We're getting into our two-seater, they're getting into their two-seater, assumingly. And okay, we took off fast enough before it could do anything. So goofy looking. So goofy. And alright, sending out all the forces to come help stop this robot. If the last one we couldn't stop, what the fuck do you think we're going to do about this one? Alright, he's like up on this fucking pedestal of a mountain too. Get all our anti-aircraft guns out to aim right at him and fire away. Boom, 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 boom. Just straight at the cliff. Not even at him. Just, you know, I'm not sure if you did it. You caused him to fall off a cliff, but I feel like it would have been better if you actually shot him. But I don't know. And okay, here he is. Yeah, even from this height, he surely couldn't survive. Good luck. Okay, yeah, like, well, we're just gonna leave him in this crater for now and come back tomorrow when we have more time to get him out of here. Very realistic, but of course, gonna cause a lot of problems. Okay, they are gonna set up a guard and come back tomorrow, though. You know, at least they're doing that much. And I love the chief's like, man, thank God for you, Shotaro. You've been lifting the burden from my shoulders. I haven't really done anything. You've just done it all. And yeah, they are alone in the mountains with just two people watching what is essentially, like, you know, the most powerful thing ever. It's like, if you're shooting with anti-aircraft rounds and it can't do anything, you are, you know, watching the most dangerous thing. This has such kaiju movie vibes. What's going on with the weather? More storm clouds. Gonna get some lightning to revive it. So now I gotta hide in a little cave here and rumble. Big flash of lightning. Just keeps hitting it. Yep. Gonna bring him back to life. Dun 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 dun. Beep 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 beep. Gow, gow, gow. I wonder if that's like a noise he's making or if it's just like groans of the machinery, like oh. Wait, or if it's like a verbal, you know, emitted noise. But alright, yeah, now it sees us. Try and shoot at it, but just gonna smash him dead in the rain. Try and hide in the cave, but just gonna cause a cave in instead. Just a big fist coming down right on you. And now backup arrives, but they're dead and the machine has got away. Oh, maybe it hasn't got away. Okay, just go up to the air. It was apparently far away and caused a dam to collapse. Great. And there's work crews coming up the mountain. It's about to be flooded if we don't do something. Oh, lordy, lordy. Well, doesn't seem like it. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Well, we weren't able to do anything. That's fucked. Just a whole mess of people. Just a whole workforce just fucking killed in front of us. This kid's having to see all this shit. Whew. And now, all around the world, like, or at least, no, I guess not all around. These are also Japanese people, like, just saying, like, oh, I didn't realize Japan was conducting this type of research during the war. But yeah, it's all coming out now. And now you got pundits talking about it. So as a result of the investigation, there is no part of the dam that seems to have broken naturally, but there are signs that it was breached by some strong force. If you see the Tetsujin, please contact the nearest police station immediately. Oh, I thought there was going to be some pundits or something, but no, this is just this is just news. But yeah, we set up some big-ass defenses. We're not fucking around. This is the exact same cadence as a kaiju movie, which is crazy because it's really only Godzilla. Like, this is, you know, obviously, like, you know, taking a lot of inspiration from Godzilla. But that's it. Just Godzilla. There's really nothing else out of this time. Like, even King Kong would have been 30 years before this. Well, let's see. 55 to 45, 45 to 35. So only like 20, you know, years ago, actually. Not 30. So we got like this lumberjack here who's like surprised that he chopped a tree so fast, and he's like, let's try this again. And then one more try, and he goes through it before he even hits it, it falls down, and all the trees break. Making his job easier at least. Actually, I'm not sure. It might be bad if it's, you know, chopped off like that. It might have to be, you know, super even. But alright, emergency, emergency. We found him, we found him. Alright, sound the alarms, everybody. We have found the Tetsujin. Oh, yeah, we got priests and everything coming too. Alright, maybe running away, actually. Yeah, everybody's just trying to evacuate. Get the hell out of there. Bringing in the planes and everything. Alright, here he is. We spotted him walking towards the town. Fire! Boom, 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 boom. Whoo, pew. Hitting him with everything they got, but literally not a single scratch. Not a scratch at all. And yeah, you think your guns are going to do something? But, okay. Shotaro in a helicopter sees the Murasame brothers in a helicopter. I think. Could be somebody else, but... they've got it with like a lock thingy. Like a magnetic lock thing. So maybe those guns actually are mag guns. Because it's drawn in the exact same way. But, no, okay, so it's, you know, the mysterious man. Okay. It's him, the mysterious man. And at that moment, a car arrived on the scene. Okay, so that guy is actually alive. He didn't die. But everybody's too preoccupied with Tetsujin to notice us, which is this guy working with one of the PX gang members? What? But, I mean, I guess, right, they were working together in order to, like, stop this. I kind of forgot about that because I assumed it was to keep him in the facility. But, no, it was for this. But, yeah, I forgot about that. But, so, yeah, they got the radio waves thing they're going to do to stop him, and they were. But wasn't strong enough. Well, I guess it's because, like, you know, it's, you know, the helicopter is interfering with it. Well, like, so they weren't stopping it. The helicopter stopped it. Then they, you know, I was like, are they working together with this guy now or something? But, because the fact they're like, no, get the helicopter out of here, keep it away, and they're shooting at it and stuff. So, yeah, clearly not working together. So these waves were interacting with these waves. I mean, in general, I love radio wave shit in this time period, the 50s and 60s and stuff. I mean, Japan's obsessed with it. They get even more obsessed. Japan goes fucking crazy with it. But, like, even in, like, America, I love our obsession with it. The craziest thing I've ever read was in a Spider-Man cartoon where they said that Spider-Man could track a helicopter because spiders have the same radio wavelength as helicopters. So crazy shit. Okay, so we crashed that dude's fucking helicopter, crashed the Mr. Man's helicopter, still trying to get control. Okay, we got him, and now we're taking him. Right, yeah, we're trying to, like, they want to work together because they want the robot as well. There's so many factions, it's hard to keep track of everybody, like, in the moment. Alright, yeah, as they're controlling him, like, he's just behind the car. Like, you know, he's just, like, walking behind their cars, they're controlling him, and they're like, alright, get him off our back. And so he's gonna destroy a whole bridge. Gonna destroy a fucking highway. Jesus. The amount of people dying in this is crazy. And alright, now we go to the mystery man. Yep, Dr. Shikishima, finally getting the reveal. And he's gonna die here now, I assume. But I don't know, you've been through this before. Alright, just get this Tetsujin under control, it's all I ask. It's no use attacking it. Stop the person who is controlling it. He must be nearby. Okay, so wait, were they controlling it the whole time? Have they been controlling it? I don't think so, because no, they needed the thing with the radio, so like, the person controlling it is the guy in the white suit. Right. But, like, now the PX gang have gotten control of it away from him, I think. And yeah, alright, get out of our helicopter, into a car again. Gonna chase him in a car this time. And alright, here we are, the rendezvous point. And yeah, like, what are they gonna do with him? Like, he just kind of wanted, like, you know, everything to be safe at least. But, like, you know. Again, him working with them made a lot of sense when it was we need to keep this thing in the facility. After that, I'm not sure why he's still working with them. But alright, we got 5 minutes, but a police car's coming. So, shit. Alright, just shoot him up. Shoot him up. Instantly. Alright, jump out on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Jump out, and then... Okay, yeah, they're still shooting at us, but we dodge the bullets. Shoot the gun out of their hands. Now we're just hiding behind a rock. This guy, why are you here? Alright, got 2 minutes left. That was 3 whole minutes there. Alright. Shotoru's gonna flank him. Chief do some cover fire. And okay, nice. We get around him. Yeah, force them to drop their guns, but it doesn't matter. Every time we try and do a drop your guns, it just ends up in a shootout. Every time. But we are a crack shot. And now, here comes the sub to pick him up. That's what's helping to pick him up. That's some real Factor 3 shit, submarine. Alright, what's going to happen here? Are they going to get away safely? Alright, gotta just shoot the control device. Yikes. I don't know about that, but... Okay, he goes and he shoots off the levers from it. Fuck. That's not going to be good. And it just falls straight in the water. Okay. Yes, now he just gives it up. What are you going to do? Okay, I thought they were going to leave him behind or something, but no. They bringing him into the sub too. They're just like, alright, you're with us now. You're a part of Factor 3, buddy. Come on, you're part of PX gang. Alright, off they go. And okay, it doesn't seem to be attacking now. We're going to take it. We're going to disassemble it. Yeah, the guy who was controlling it before, the white suited man, seems to be gone. And okay, so the doctor's actually still alive. I thought he was going to die there, but nope. He went to the hospital and he managed to survive. Came back to Japan a month ago. I was surprised to find myself alive. After all, it was a truly terrible time. A large formation of nearly 500 aircraft attacked that small island. The American military must have realized Japan's secret scientific weapons factory was located on that island. The attacks repeated again and again and again. Yeah, it didn't matter. Just recapping the event for everybody. But okay, so he managed to make it out like through this little tunnel here, like just barely escaped. Above ground, it was like hell on earth. Well, no, okay, so this is still, we've seen this part too, where you have piles of bodies, no one, collapsed from hunger. Then, woke up and rescued by the nearby Kennebec Islands, the residents of the Kennebec Islands. They told me I was the only survivor. But okay, so I just hid on that island for 9 years not knowing the war was over. And then in the 10th year, traveled to India and realized for the first time that war was over. Then I read about the Tetsujin incident in the news, and, like, you didn't go back home to your house with your family? You came to Japan, and then you got a suit, and, you know, like, you got all spiffied up, but you didn't go back to your family. Yeah, someone besides me must have returned alive. Only researchers know how to make a Tetsujin. So, yeah, the man in the white suit was also there at the time, it must have been. Which, now I'm starting to think the man in the white suit is the guy with the mask. But alright, here we are in another secret lab we've built just for this, or, you know, already existed but we're using for this, probably most likely. But, I'm going to do our disassembling now. Switch on the lights. You don't have to do that. What? What, are you going to work in the dark? Oh, no, okay. This might be the guy in the white suit. Maybe it wasn't the guy in the mask. Haven't done anything yet, but I'm going to take the Tetsujin back with me. So, okay, maybe he's just with the PX gang then. Just, yeah. Someone who was disguising himself. Man, they explicitly even said, like, you know, it would be difficult for the PX gang to show up and take control of the Tetsujin here again. Apparently not. Apparently not too difficult, actually. Shotro's pissed. Jumps for him. Yeah, knocks him out. Hell yeah. Shotaro is just such a badass. He does everything. But, help me tie this guy up. Nope, they're all with the PX gang. How did every single scientist we hire was one of the PX gang? Crazy. They are infiltrators, true and true. And yeah, they've got their own box. I guess they just made another one, you know. The guy told them how, and they made another one. So, take it straight out of here. Taking it for a test drive. Dr. Shikishima's orders. Dr. Shikishima's orders? I guess, like, you know, they then got the box, took it outside. These guards who didn't see anything that just happened, you know, are now asking this question. And that's why they're, like, lying and saying, like, oh, we're taking it for a test drive. Dr. Shikishima's orders. Such a hard name to say. Dr. Shikishima. But yeah, they weren't buying it, so they went to go check, and we see them all tied up. So, it's a good thing they didn't buy it, and they went to go check. And now the chief is just like, all the newspapers bad-mouthing the police. All the newspapers bad-mouthing the police. Trying to say that without mumbling. But I can't help but be disgusted by the constant black marks on the police force. Well, you fucking deserve it. You ain't doing shit. Well, this has been a whole volume of showcasing how fucking incompetent the police are. And then instantly Shotaro comes in. Oh, Shotaro, do you have any clues? Because we can't do shit. But now he came to ask the same thing. He's out of, you know, he's out of trail for right now as well. Alright, sure, yeah, let's go talk to Dr. Shikishima. Does he have any ideas? But okay, I thought we were coming here for a lead, but no, we're actually just coming here to say, like, If, it happens again, how do we contain the Tetsujin? But I've got a little surprise for you. Okay. Started making it right after the other day. Okay. Okay, little control units. It's a little better than what the PX gang has. Alright. Awesome, awesome. So if we see him again, we'll be able to control him better. Goes to go to bed, puts a gun under his pillow, and nods off, but has a bad dream. Oh no, so hot and humid it's hard to sleep. Drenched in sweats. Oh my god, the build he has for being a kid. Like, look at these fucking muscles. Damn. Like, for a kid, that is impressive. He is such a badass. Like, look at that back. Just like his shoulder span and everything, too. He is such like a, it's not like you wouldn't see a kid like this. Like, it's not like that doesn't exist, but it's like, oh, that is a buff kid. Like, you see that and you're like, oh, your dad probably forces you to go to the gym. So he thought he saw a light on a moving car, but maybe. What is it? Okay, so he pretends, that he's sitting in bed. The PX gang comes to finish him off. Yeah, he's sweating bullets. Yeah, sleeping well. Bust through. Yeah. Alright, pull up the car. Pretty easy. Now we get out of here. Yeah. Why did they suddenly come for you today? Just this day. Okay, so they're doing some late night work down at the station, so Shoto's going to come join them. And also, so he's in a safe place. And the PX gang showing up someone else's house to the Sanwa Bank. Okay. Huh. Are they there to kill him or are they to rob him? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the bank's been robbed, so they didn't kill him or anything. And Jinkai Bank and Dainai Bank were also attacked. So, okay, a bunch of attacks. 4 banks been attacked at once. And there's another 3 as well. Okay, never mind. So 7 banks attacked at once. Good God. So, okay, yeah, just send all the troops to all the banks that haven't been attacked yet. Because we don't know what the fuck is going on. Something going on here. Look at a map again. See if there's a circle or something. See, all the banks are connected on this side of the mountain. If the gang's going to rob banks, they don't have to stick to one side or the other. So it stands to reason. There seems to be some kind of trick to this. If they're trying to get the police to concentrate on those areas, get them over there away from wherever they want to do something on the other side of the mountain. And yeah, to be able to do something this large scale, like, it's pretty crazy. You would need a very, very organized international gang. So, okay, so they're at the coastline while the police force will be concentrated on the mountainside. So if that's the case, let's go to the coast side. And yeah, they try to kill you tonight because you'd be the one to figure it out. But alright, we only have a couple officers. Just a very, very few select amount of officers. So to the coastline we go with us, the chief, and just a couple people. And yeah, we also have our own controller for the Tetsujin, so like that will help us a lot as well. And damn, somebody dead on the road. Just, did they steal his car, or like what the fuck? I don't know what happened, but okay, a bunch of them been hit too. Are these officers? Like, what's going on? Yeah, okay, so they are a bunch of officers down, huh? But yes, I guess we sent officers ahead, and they've been getting killed off. And there we go. They just got it on a fucking wagon. Okay, so they're gonna throw a fucking grenade at him. Throw a fucking grenade at us. Where'd you? I mean, the PX gang definitely has grenades. What am I talking about? You would just swerve out of the way. Is he going nuts? Yeah, we are determined this time. We are not letting you get away. Alright, take down that guy. It's a giant pea! And this guy's just so on board with working for him now. He has completely switched sides. But alright, they rise him. They raise him. Take out Jotaro's car! But get our own. Now for a little surprise, buddy. We're trying. And he's trying to fight it, actually. Like, oh! Maybe he's getting signals from 2 different controllers messing up his functions. Oh no. Oh no. But okay, yeah, so we're not really controlling him, but we're at least causing him to go chaos, Just go crazy. It helps us in the end. And alright, calling up Dr. Shikishima. Alright, we're calling him down here. Why? Or, wait, no, okay, this was the gang. Sorry, that was Kenji. Yeah, he's not wearing glasses. Of course, it's not Dr. Kishima. But, yeah, so. Or no, okay, so this guy was Kenji. I said this guy was Kenji earlier, but yeah. This guy's Kenji. But alright, all the factions are coming together now. Everybody's converging. Let's get revenge. Get revenge for his brother. Let's avenge his brother. And alright, Murasame gang pulling up here. Yeah, who is that showing up? Alright, and we're into a gunfight. And that's the guy who gets hit. Of course he does. Of course. But okay, the control unit is dropped. Tries to run for it. Is he going to get it? Is he going to get it? Okay, damn. He got it, and he got back behind a tree. Can't beat Ryu Murasame that easy. But maybe this thing can. Maybe this thing can. But they're good at dodging. Great at dodging. But he gets shot in the back. Ugh, damn. Ugh, another brother down. Okay, he's going to put him in the car with the controller and then try and like lure the monster away. Yes, this is how a gangster dies. Straight on the gas. Or he's just like charging straight for him, actually. He's just going to ram him. God, good panel there. Haven't really got a great shot of him until now. Why are you so goofy looking now? What happened? This PX gang has gotten more goofy over the course of like just a couple pages. But slams into him and pulls him off the cliff into the water, actually. Okay. And the PX gang is like, we're fucking out of here. Yeah, let's regroup and get revenge for my brother. More like brothers at this point. And they try and shoot him at him, but... Oh, I don't think he did. They got our tires, so never mind. Never mind. I know we'll get him next time. You never do. You never do. And yeah, even them two, you know, respecting him in the end. Respecting Ryusaku Murasame. And the Tetsujin 28, which claimed many victims and was targeted by many people, is now being pulled up by the police. Even Shotaro and the police chief didn't know what kind of movie the PX gang, I was like, what? Didn't know what kind of move the PX gang and Kenji Murasame would take against the Tetsujin in the coming days. And that is the end of Volume 1. So, things that I'm unsure about. The man in the white suit, you know, what was up with that? The man who was behind him, was that a thing at all? Or was that just like a, I don't know, why was there a guy clearly behind him? Who was the one controlling him? Was that the guy who was then in the mask? Why was he wearing that mask? Where were all the other people in that lab? Was it just him? Why did he suddenly decide, I guess I'm just going to rule the world with this robot now? Maybe he was already planning to do that. Maybe he was Factor 4. But a lot of unanswered questions. Not a very satisfying ending, I would say, actually. Pretty unsatisfying. And I feel like it's like into Volume 1 as well, as an actual panel. It's cool. But yeah, since ancient times, human beings have tried to create beings that look exactly like themselves. I should just say, going into this, I'm surprised I didn't say this, but I mean, I love a good Frankenstein story. Frankenstein-type stories are my favorite kind of... No, my favorite, I'm very hyperbolic, okay? But I love Frankenstein tales. You know, whether it be a robot, whether it be an actual Frankenstein creature, whether it be, you know, you're creating an artificial sun, not like as a, you know, robot, but as like a synthetic thing or whatever, or, you know, trying to like, you know, force like, you know, something that isn't human as your son or something like that. You know, a lot of these things, we have always tried to create beings that look exactly like ourselves. Gods as well. Someone tried to create cells out of organic matter, like gods. And others have tried to create a single body by assembling the usual parts of a corpse. Others have tried to create machine dolls that look exactly like human beings. Mechanical dolls are gradually approaching practical use as robots. The model for Tetsujin 28 was the Frankenstein monster. And yeah, he is very like Frankenstein X, the original one, I assume. Not the original, like the first one we saw, you know, was very Frankenstein in nature. Yeah, Frankenstein was a scientist named Victor Frankenstein, who tried to solve the mystery of life and create the ideal human being, which resulted in the creation of the monster. However, despite its ugly appearance, the monster had a human heart and intellect. But because of its appearance, the monster was abandoned by Frankenstein. Frankenstein, persecuted by his own people, and then the monster... Frankenstein, persecuted by his own people, and then the monster reappears in front of him. Okay, just a weird sentence there. The monster asks him to make a mate for him. Frankenstein is not a story about a creepy monster going on a rampage, but rather it's a story of the heart and the despair of being created as a monster, and the struggle against its creator, Dr. Frankenstein. Yeah, Frankenstein is a fucking great book. If you've never actually read the original Frankenstein, I highly recommend it. It holds up very, very well. It's still excellent. The author is a female writer named Mary Shelley. She got the idea for the story while staying with her husband's friends on the shores of Lake Geneva in Switzerland. Haruyuki Nakano. I don't know who the fuck that is. But thank you for that quote, random man. I don't know who the hell you are. The Android Night Tales. Okay, I assume we'll get like one of these, you know, a very like, I don't know, how many like, you know, robot Frankenstein stories was there before this point? Like how many Frankenstein sort of things, how many like of this sort of concept can you bring up before this point? I don't know. I mean, obviously Astro Boy is going to be one of them, I would assume. But that's it for this volume, and I assume the first arc, there is a little bit more I can read from another thing, assumingly. I'll check that out. I'm not sure if it's going to be part of the same video, or if it'll be a separate video. We'll see. Hold tight, then I'll do an outro. But okay, if this is where this video ends, here is my outro. Thank you guys for watching this. If you want to see more, like, you know, I mean, I'll have to wait until chapters come out and stuff, but again, this was just a checking out this thing. I don't intend to read any more, but if these videos, fucking tons of people are asking for more, then I'll probably do more or something. You know, that's how I determine a lot of this stuff, so. If there is interest, we might do more, you know, and also this will help me determine, like, how much mecha stuff I should be doing in the future, because I'm very interested in mecha stuff, and, you know, mecha and robots and all that stuff, but, like, how much interest is there from you guys? I don't know, so let me know, you know, if I'm doing mecha stuff, I'm doing it in chronological order, so, like, we're doing, like, Cyborg 009, and then we got, like, Giant Robo, and some stuff like that, but yeah, so, let me know, and I'll see you guys for whatever is next on the channel. Check out a bunch of other stuff. You know, we got some Astro Boy, we got Go Nagai mangas, we got Boss of the Brats, Toki Pikigaki Daisho. Check out, we got a lot of old stuff on the channel. Check that out. We also got a lot of newer stuff for mid, you know, 2000 stuff. We got a lot. Check out the channel, baby. We got stuff. I'll see you for whatever's next. And until then, get the fuck out of here.